Hey guys, Devil here. I finally reached the hub endgame, you know what I mean. All that live on stream. So follow me on Twitch right now. I stream almost daily, you really don't want to miss it. So I want to show you guys the best gear to craft for Chargeblade, so you don't have to craft unnecessary parts, because you really don't need anything more than 1 or 2 pieces for low and high rank till the final boss. The following progress will be built around SAED gameplay, because early game you can't really build up much crit, neither have good sharpness, which is mandatory for Savage Axe. So even if you want to use Savage Axe, you can just use these builds for now. It really won't make any difference, but once you're late high rank, I'll show you also separate progression for SAED and Savage Axe builds in this video. Note that there will be no endgame builds, since they are way past the final boss and will be covered on a separate video. Subscribe and turn notifications if you don't want to miss the meta endgame builds. But again, the game just came out, no one so far yet, there is no point covering meta endgame builds yet. For the people that are new to Chargeblade, I'll explain the difference on skills between those two in a few sentences. While SAED gets its most damage from files, it requires very high row and the skill Artillery, which boosts your file damage by 30%, or Bludgeoner for another 10% extra when your sharpness is green or lower, and that's pretty much it during the whole Highrank part, and till endgame actually. Usually the damage in other games like WoW will be still coming from melee hits, even if it is a SAED playstyle, but on Rise it's not exactly the case. Savage Axe actually does focus on high FR, which means effective row. So on Savage Axe you will prioritize crit above everything and max out your row and sharpness secondly. With that said, let's get straight into the progression row. Let's start with Lowrank. The gear is pretty much super easy to craft. Bullfango Mask for Bludgeoner, which boosts your damage by 5% when yellow sharpness and below, and as I said, most Chargeblades have yellow or green and below in low rank. Renoplus Chest and Renoplus Arm for double artillery, which will boost your file damage by 20%, and that's massive. Now Chain and Barth Coil for guard, so you have reduced knockback, and that can be really handy if you wanna counter SAED, because you will notice if you block some attacks, you'll get massive knockback so that your character can move and you'll be stuck. But with guard, you can reduce this knockback. One will be enough for the beginning. Diablos and Barth for the legs, this can be really anything, but I went for another guard. You really won't be staying much in low rank, it really just takes 10 hours to reach high rank. Don't forget to use armor spheres and upgrade your armor level all the way through so you're more tanky and you don't want to get 2 or 1 shot. For the weapon, you should upgrade the Kamura or the Ore one. There isn't really much difference. Once you are at Magnamalo, you should get his Chargeblade though. It's definitely my favorite and carries you all the way to a high rank till you can craft the next one. For wrap up, I went with attack of course. So it is Kamura Chargeblade, and when you reach Magnamalo, you craft the Magnamalo Chargeblade. And to actually upgrade the Magnamalo Chargeblade, you will need commission tickets, which are obtained by the 6-star village quest from Double Monster quests. Charm, whatever you have available, same for decorations. Anyway, you can't really get some good stuff yet, so there is no point for me fixing anything. So that was already pretty much it, and now you're ready to enter high rank. There's multiple options here again, but I picked the ones that were the easiest to craft and are still very efficient. Bullfango Mask again for double Bludgeoner, which increases your row damage by 10% when you're at yellow or lower sharpness. You should also craft one Bludgeoner decoration, because on level 3 the effect activates on green sharpness on below. And the meta Chargeblades are actually all green, so you have a constant 10% boost on your melee hits and files. This is massive. Renoplus Chest and Arms for 30% extra file damage thanks to Artillery level 3. Buggy Coil and Ingot Legs will bring you to attack level 4, which boosts your row by 12 and 5% overall damage. If you can't craft the Bludgeoner decoration, you can use the Wolvidon Coil, which will give you the last level of Bludgeoner. But maybe you're lucky with charms, who knows? I want to leave room again for the charm and decoration slot, so that's up to you and your luck. Builds like this will be on my upcoming video, which will be the actual min-max DPS endgame builds And there we will be using charms that have like 2 weakness exploit, 2 crit boosts, and 3 slots and everything. But since the game just got out, the progression builds have priority. For weapon, you should go definitely with the Bone Tree. It's by far the best and easiest to craft early on. Has the highest raw and green sharpness, so you can take the 10% boost from Bludgeoner. Ramp up for attack or Dueling Strike. I like Dueling Strike because it gives by chance a massive damage boost if you're at green sharpness and below. Attack should be on average better though, but I still like it when I hit for 120 file damage randomly. It just looks good, so I went with Dueling Strike. And yeah, this build can already hit for 100 plus file damage. So you will be seeing around 80 if you hit for Bombardier, but again, Dueling Strike gives you a lot of extra damage, and if you have like attack buff and seed powder, you'll be see some 100 plus numbers there. The guys saw it on stream and they were like, how do you hit 100? And yeah, but we can go quite a bit higher later on. Once you reach the 7-star quest and are able to craft and upgrade the Adjunct Charge Blade, do it. It has 30 more raw and is even further upgradable in the future, but that's going to be in the endgame content. So the Adjunct Charge Blade is the best charge blade in-game for SAED playstyle. So now you surely also want to know Savage Axe build. For weapon, you should definitely pick the Nargacuga. It's overall the best Savage Axe charge blade. Under some certain conditions, Tigrex wins, but that's for really planned out speedruns with perfect God Charms and Palico Affinity Boost and all that stuff, so it's definitely not better than Nargacuga if you're without these conditions. So yeah, Nargate this, do it to its white sharpness, which is a damage modifier. For the guys that don't know, sharpness is a damage modifier. For example, white gives 10% more damage over blue, and blue gives 10% more damage over green. I don't know the exact numbers. I may blend a sheet on screen when I'm editing this. And do it to its 40% base affinity extra, which is crazy and makes it really easy to reach 100% crit chance. Affinity equals crit chance for the newcomers, because I was also confused at the beginning when I got Monster Hunter. What is affinity? Affinity basically is another word for crit chance. So since Savage Axe's damage is based on melee hits and crits, priority is to reach 100% affinity. Without a weakness exploit charm, it gets pretty tight in the build. So Xenoblade Helmet, Mail and Remover Legs give each one weakness exploit, which adds 50% affinity whenever you hit weak spots. Since the weapon already comes with 40% base crit, the last 10% will be obtained from the Kamura Braces, which gives you 2 level of crit eye. The waist can be anything you want. I picked Buggy Coil again because we already crafted it for the SAED build, and it also gives double attack boost, but it can be anything you want. Like, there will be no difference in damage almost. Now, your build has a 100% crit chance on weak spots, aka the monster's face, which is 90% of the cases a weak spot. A critical hit deals 25% extra damage by default, for those who don't know, with crit boost even up to 40% extra damage, but currently on your progress till the final boss, you can't really fit that efficiently in unless you have some weakness exploit charm or crit boost charm. But later on you will be also able to use them as decorations. A protective polish charm would also be really amazing here to maintain the white sharpness, so you have a 10% extra damage boost over the blue sharpness. These were pretty much the best progression builds, plus minus 1 skills, doesn't really make a difference. You won't be staying here for long anyway, as I said. I just wanted to give you guys a direction to aim for and not waste unnecessary materials. So if this video helped you, leave a like, would help me also a lot. Comment down below what you want to see next from me, and stay tuned for endgame meta builds by subscribing and turning notifications on. With that said, I wish you all a nice day and happy hunting, guys. Don't forget to join